Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Dion, and we're back with the Fanduel lineup building video. Now, the lineup that you actually see right now, that's not gonna be my final lineup. I just put some of the guys I do actually like there, like DeMarcus Cousins. He's pretty much a lock. Rondo's pretty much a lock. Drew's close to a lock, but all the other guys are just fillers. I just thought they had decent floors for just want to fill the lineup, and it looked kind of dry to not have nobody there. So we're gonna get into this 10-game slate. I'm not gonna break down every single player and every single aspect of how I'm gonna build my lineup, but I am gonna go game by game and give you a brief breakdown of some of these games. So the first game on the docket, we have the Chicago Bulls versus the Indiana Pacers. Now let's just take a look at the over under this game. Now we're on Fantasy Labs right now. Let me just click any of these things. So Indiana's projected for about 109 points. Chicago 99, 9.5 point favorites. The Pacers are so close to a blowout. They're at home as well. I can definitely see it being a blowout. We just saw what they did to the Knicks, who were missing Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr. Now I'm not even sure the Bulls are more talented than a Porzingis list and Tim Hardaway Jr. list Knicks. But when you look at that, man, it's very possible to see these guys get blown out. Now the main guys that I like from this game, none are coming from the Bulls side of the court. Chris Dunn, I don't like his price. If he was about five, if he maybe 6K, I'd take a chance on him. But I can definitely see this being. Now this is tough because I'm not even sure if Chris Dunn is blowout proof. He's been getting his 30 minutes. He's been solid since he's been a starting lineup. Individually, I don't think Darren Collison is a great on-ball defender, but as a team, from the team perspective, I just can't see Chris Dunn lighting up the Pacers here. The Bulls' offense has been pretty trash. Pacers not bad themselves, but 6,700 is just too much for me to get done. Oladipo, his price is way too high. His floor is pretty good, man. Look, he's averaging 40.8 FanDuel points a game. That's pretty darn good. Um, but the main guys that I'm really looking for in this game, if I'm gonna take any chances, let's take a look at my boy right here, Bojan Bogdanovic, 5K shooter. Now the problem with him is he's not gonna get you. Well, he'll rarely he'll get you like a 35 point game or something like that. Just because he's not a high usage guy on the team. You got Miles Turner, Oladipo, um, Thaddeus Young have pretty decent usages. So let's just take a look at it real quick. Let's see. We got in so Miles Turner. So as far as the starting lineup goes, Oladipo highest usage with a 29.9, Turner 20.9, Daddy's 18.2, and then you have Bogdanovich, excuse me. So he's fourth. So in that starting lineup, he has the fourth highest usage rate. So you have to take that to you have to take that into account when you're considering a blowout, and you're considering that he's fourth in usage rate. So I'm not sure I can. I'm high. I'm not high on him, but I definitely will take. Definitely will have some. Definitely have some exposure to him in tournaments. He's getting 30 minutes. Even in the blow against the Knicks, he touched 30. It's just that he's more scoring dependent because he's not really a guy that's going to get you a bunch of assists, steals, and blocks or anything like that. Rebounds, like the peripherals, don't really. He just doesn't get those. So we'll move on from there. I like that he's young a little bit. He's a guy that'll get you the rebound, steals, and blocks. Hasn't been doing so lately, but he's only 6K. And let's see how many times he hits 30. So at this price range, he's coming off a 32-point game in 26 minutes. He got you close. He had 29 against Houston. That's actually a pretty solid team. Against Orlando, that was Victor Oladipo's revenge game. Then against Boston, another great defense. So they're actually playing good defenses. And then against Toronto, that's actually a solid defense. He put up 39, Orlando 32, Miami 32, 33. So he has he definitely has the upside here. I think he's a pretty solid cash play. If you're looking at his fantasy points on the season, 28.4 is pretty darn good. So that's about it for me. I respect Robin Lopez as a defender enough to not play Miles Turner at 7.6. Like that's a little bit too much for me. So we'll move on to the next game, Atlanta versus Orlando. Now we all know. Well, I don't know if we all know, but Orlando's struggling against point guards, so we definitely have to have some exposure. Dennis Schroeder, DVP wise, I think Orlando's third worst against point guards. I'm going off the top of my head. Let me take a look. Hold on. Let me see. Let me categorize this. Oh, second worst against point guards. So you gotta have some exposure to Dennis Schroeder, who has the highest usage on that team with a 29.6 usage rate. Definitely want to have some exposure to Kent Bazemore. The only thing problem I have with Schroeder, that price is pretty high, but it's still a good matchup nonetheless. Let's take a look at what Vegas thinks about this game. What's the projected score? Uh, 105 to 111. That's good enough for me to take the chance on Schroeder and Ken Bazemore. My rule last year, my rule almost every year is don't play Ken Bazemore above 4,500. But I might break it today in tournaments. I might just do it. He has the second highest usage on the team and another good matchup. Jonathan Simmons' defense hasn't been that good according to the analytics. His it's not loaded up right now, but if you actually go check ESPN, his real plus minus on defense isn't great at all. So, and Ken Bazemore is pretty solid offensively. Say solid, average, but let's just go take a look real quick. I want to see what Bazemore's offensive rating is. It's under 100. He's trash, so I'm not playing him. Now, I still might have some exposure, though. You just have to take those chances. Sometimes in tournaments, this game will probably be up in pace. Vegas thinks it's going to be high scoring, so we want to have some exposure. Like, the way I look at it is, I'm trying to attack. Like, I try to get teams that are projected to score at least 105 points or more. That's usually how I look at it in DFS. And Atlanta for their price for their pricing 105, man. I can. There's definitely some value to be had here. The problem is a lot of these guys split minutes. Like Plumlee, he's not gonna see 30 minutes. What he got last game, 21. They're gonna split some time with Ilyasova, Babbitt, and so like the big man, they're gonna be. It's a lot of interchangeable guys here. A lot of guys gonna split minutes. So like nobody's ever gonna play 30 minutes here. But as far as like how much is Torian Prince getting? Prince Bazemore, 27. Nah, that's 27, 28. That's solid. But Bazemore, oh yeah, of course Bellinelli's gonna get minutes, but Bazemore for the most part is gonna see around 28 to 30. I guess you could say 32 minutes. What's the most he's played this season? So the most he's played was 35. But I guess when these games are close, he's gonna see about 30. So we get 30 minutes against a bad Orlando Magic defense. I take the chance, high usage too. Dennis Schroeder, same thing for him. And then from the Orlando side of the ball, Jonathan Simmons, he has a good matchup here. Um, the problem with him is got to fight with Vucevic, Fournier, Alfred Payne, who's going to be running the point. Fournier runs a lot of point too. Then Vucevic, who takes a lot of shots, and then Aaron Gordon, who's pretty solid. And then these guys are priced up pretty darn high. And I mean, I can understand it with this matchup being so good against the Hawks defense, who's been trash. But let's take a look at Jonathan Simmons real quick. All right, so he really hasn't been at 5,800. You're looking for 30 minimum. So especially for cash, you want 30. And for tournaments, he's not gonna hit that upside. So I'll just eliminate him right off the bat. But just looking at how Atlanta fares versus shooting guards, it made me wanna take a look at him. Let's just take a look real quick. All right, so Atlanta bottom five against shooting guards, but and then Jonathan Simmons actually has usage. So let's take a look. His usage rate is 23.6, even though a lot of that probably was off the bench. It'll be interesting to see how it's been since he's been in the starting lineup. Let's take a look. So I think he's been in the starting lineup in the last 5 games. So 20.5. So that's a huge drop. But he still, maybe a lot of that's coming from turnover rate because he has a 17.9% turnover rate. So that could come from that as well. So just gotta take these numbers with a grain of salt. And I think we can move on here. We can move on from this game. Sacramento at Cleveland. Now this game is probably one of those fades for me, just because a lot of these guys like Kevin Love, LeBron, who you want to have exposure to, because they're gonna score a lot. It's just that you don't know if the game will stay close. This seems to be a blowout. Cleveland's at home. You get Sacramento traveling all the way to the East Coast. Let's see what their last game was. Milwaukee, Chicago. Okay, so they were already on their East Coast trip, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, man, I just can't see how this game stays close. Like if I play LeBron or like a Kevin Love or something like that, the main guys who you know is like locked to see 30 minutes. I need to feel like this. I might as well play a Kings player. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, but none of these guys really get consistent minutes either. Zebo does, but 6K for Zebo with that blowout potential is not really worth it. Probably limited upside. Garrett Temple, I think he's been seeing 30 minutes lately. Yep, he has. The last two games he played 32 and 36 respectively. Uh, Buddy Hill, I think he's around 25 to 28 as well. Nope, last game he played 29, but minutes inconsistent. So the only guys you have playing consistent minutes right now is Garrett Temple and Zebo. So last two games played 30. And so that game's a fade for me. Memphis at New York. This is looking like another fade for me. I do like Tyreek Evans though, and Courtney Lee for the most part. Courtney Lee, I don't know if I want to die by Courtney Lee though, but on the season he's averaging 24.7 FanDuel points per game. That's pretty good. The only problem I have with this game is the pace of it. Both these teams don't play particularly fast. Then you got Tim Hardaway Jr. out, which should bump Courtney Lee usage. And Porzingis being back, but he has a gimpy ankle. I mean, he's probable. So, yep, he's probable. Nobody can really guard him on his team. 9K seems pretty cheap for Porzingis, but just the pace of this game makes me want to fade him. And his cancer, nah, 6,200 is too much. Joakim Noah got some minutes last game, even though it was a blowout. 8 minutes. I don't know. Maybe he might start to creep back in the starting lineup. Who knows? But for the most part, none of these guys really are appealing to me. Tyreek Evans at 7.8. He's pretty much the point guard. His usage rate is crazy right now. It's like I think it's up. It might be just behind Gasol's or a little bit higher than Gasol. But look at his last two games. I guess you could say he's probably playing the point guard because Mario Chalmers isn't really getting minutes anymore. So it's Andrew Harrison, I think, starting. I think Andrew Harrison starts. Chalmers come off the bench. Um, I actually took a week off from DFS, so I'm not all the way in the loop. So I might just be tweaking. But Chalmers hasn't been getting the minutes lately. Since they made that change, they fired Scott Fizdale. So, like I said, man, Tyreek Evans at 7.8 is interesting. Porzingis is probably a little bit underpriced, but this isn't the greatest matchup, and he's coming off an injury. And then Courtney Lee at 5.2 is appealing, man. Grizzlies are known for being a defensive team, but if you want to be serious, their defense hasn't been that great this year. Let's take a look at defensive efficiency. Let me put it from worst to best. So, okay, they're close to middle of the pack, but it's still 104. Not great. They're not they're not special or anything like that. But the pace of the game is why I'm just looking to fade it for the most part. Dallas at Boston. We seen what happened last time. Kyrie Irving went for 47. I wouldn't even be surprised if he did it again. But matter of fact, I take that back. That game was on the road, so I would be surprised. This seems more likely to be a blowout just because they're at home. Dallas is traveling to Boston. But let's take a look at what Vegas thinks. All right, Boston projected 9-point favorites, 105 to 96. That's close enough to take a chance on Kyrie. That definitely is. Kyrie Irving. Let's take a look at his floor. He's averaging 38 a game. You need 45 for value. They're projected to win by 9. 9 it's a 9-point spread. Um, I'm not sure I really want to have Kyrie in this type of a situation, especially not in cash. For tournaments, why not? We never know if this game can stay close. Um, but I definitely like Jalen Brown a little bit here. Second highest usage on the team behind Kyrie. Wesley Matthews, of course. Let's look at some analytics. He's been horrible on defense. Let's take a look at shooting guards. His defensive real plus minus. He's on the last page. That's how bad he is. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's the seventh worst. He has the seventh worst defensive real plus minus among shooting guards in the NBA, behind only Lou Williams, who we all know don't play defense. Crawford, who's 30 something. Devin Booker, who we know don't play defense. Troy Daniels trash. Malik Monk, that's terrible. But like I said, man, 93rd on defensive efficiency. So Wesley Matthews, we might want to pick on a little bit. Jalen Brown is in his second year, has been improving a lot. He's improved a lot. So offensively, man, he took a huge leap this year on offense. So might want to have some exposure to him. Let's take a look at his price again. 5,600 in the game where they projected to score about 105 points. Let's take a look at his usage. All right, Boston. Okay, so from the guys in the actual starting lineup, Marcus Morris isn't in the starting lineup anymore. Jalen Brown has a 19. Oh, this is the last 5 games. Let me take that off. Damn, that's still interesting though. Last 5 games is actually one down, but let's see. He has been missing he has been getting in foul trouble and stuff like that, and there's been some blowouts. So we also gotta take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, so on a season 21.0 usage rate, it's appealing for me. It's appealing. I might want to take a chance on him in Dallas. They were like for most of the season, they were the worst defensive efficiency team. But now I think they dropped all the way to like 13 or something like that. Yeah, 13. So they're not as terrible as they once were, but it's still enough for me to pick on them. Like anything above 105 is enough for me to pick on you. Pace of the game won't be that fast. Like look at Boston 98, Dallas 98. So um, really don't want to stack these guys unless you're banking on like overtime or something crazy like that. So pick my spots here. I'll definitely take a chance on Jalen Brown. Probably have one lineup with Kyrie or so. Al Harford at 7,600 is just a little bit too much for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off here in this spot. The only reason why I would even take a chance on playing him today is because Boogie, who we'll talk about in a few, which is the next game, and we got the New Orleans Pelicans versus Denver. Denver's been struggling as of late. No Jokic, no Paul Millsap for a long time. Um, he is just not going right for them right now. And they don't not really a great defensive team. Let's take a look. Where are they at? They're ranked 10th in defense. Efficiency is trash. This game should be a game that's up in pace. No AD as well, so Boogie's the lock. Just put him in your lineup. Don't think about it. Plug him in. Rondo, same situation. Uh, the Denver Nuggets are terrible against point guards as far as DVP goes. Let's take a look real quick. Third worst against point guards, so you definitely want to have some Rondo exposure. Rondo, man, this dude can get you 10 assists almost every game. He's gonna get you at least 5 rebounds, and then you just hope he gets the points and maybe like a few steals. Which let's see what he got last game, just so I could better explain it. Like this dude, I think he had 10 assists at halftime, which is crazy. He had 10 assists at halftime and only finished with 11. So the Warriors definitely locked in, but he did this against the Warriors. So imagine what he could do to the Nuggets in 28. So let's say imagine he plays 32 minutes, which is definitely possible. Uh, he's played 30 once this year, so in 27 minutes, and he only probably didn't play 30 because they probably needed some shooting at the end of the game. But like I was saying, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals. This is very much possible against the Nuggets. Um, I just love Rondo in this spot right here. No AD. Gotta take the chance here. Jamal Murray. Now I definitely like him here. I'm not scared of Rondo defense at all. Like Rondo isn't a great defender. Jamal Murray, he's kind of scoring dependent. But I think this could be a game where he drops like 25 real points, and I actually think it could possibly be more, especially if he gets the minutes. Now I think the reason he didn't get the minutes because they were getting smoked by Dallas. I don't understand why or how, but they were not. And if you look at it, he only played 28. He played 28, right? Look at this. Will Barton played 41. Gary Harris played 42. So I doubt those two things. I doubt both these players are going to play above 40 minutes again. And I think some of those minutes get stretched out a little bit. You stretch some of those minutes out to Jamal Murray, where he probably plays about 32 to 33. And hopefully he improves on his fantasy output. So that's about it for me from this game. You could take a chance on Dante Cunningham. He had a solid game, and this was against Golden State. He'll probably see similar minutes here. Yeah, 32 minutes. Got you 26.8 Fanduel points, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. That's very. I think that's possible. Uh, where's my boy Etwan? Oh yeah, I forgot about Etwan. How many minutes did he play last time? 37. He got you 35 Fanduel points, so you definitely want to have some exposure to him in cash. Like you can literally play the whole Pelican starting lineup in cash, honestly. Gary Harris is solid. If he's gonna play 42, if you're banking on playing 42 minutes again, why not play him and why not have any exposure to him? So this game is projected to be up to, let's take a look. Wrong one. 107 to 111. So high scoring game. Let's just get the exposure that we need. Detroit versus Milwaukee. Both these teams play pretty slow. It's in Milwaukee though. Nobody in Detroit can guard Giannis, but 12.3 on this slate with the amount of players that I like, it's probably not gonna happen for me. I'm probably moving on from there. I wouldn't be mad if anybody play Andre Drummond. Centers actually abuse Milwaukee. They abuse Milwaukee, so that would be a solid play there. Steph Curry's out. Not falling for the Sean Livingston's trap. Last time Curry was out, I think that was against Sacramento. Look, he only played 17 minutes, so and now his prices actually went up around that time. I think he was like 3.2K or something. Now he's 4.3. I'm not playing Sean Livingston. Patrick McCoy actually had got the starting not at point guard last time against Sacramento. He played 33 minutes, got you 43. Probably won't do that again. But if he is going to play point guard, man, and play 25, 30 minutes, you might want to have some exposure. It's in Charlotte. It's on the road. It's not the easiest of matchups like the Kings were, but might want to have some exposure. Clay at 6.9, unreliable, man. Clay, oh man. And then we still gonna have KD here, so I'm not taking that chance on Clay's. No need. Maybe in tournaments, but in cash games, I have no problem fading him. KD at 10K. I don't care who's guarding him. If it's Michael K. Gilchrist in cash game, you definitely want to have your exposure. You definitely want to play him in cash. Draymond at 8.2, solid play. Can't go wrong with him there, but you can't. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna be able to get Boogie, Durant, and Draymond. So um, you'll have to see how that works out. And that's about it for me from this game. Matter of fact, I like Batum a little bit. I played Drew Holiday against Klay Thompson defense, so I can't. I might have to play Batum against Klay, who's I mean, you have to take some of these things with a grain of salt because it's still team defense at the end of the day. But Klay Thompson, defensive real plus minus hasn't been great this year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look. I might be tripping, but I could have sworn I went on Fantasy Labs and saw that it wasn't that good. So let me take a look. He's not on the first page. Golden State. Yeah, so like I said, Clay Thompson minus 0.86 is not the worst. It's not under one or nothing like that, but I think we can still pick on him here. It's a home game. Let's see if Golden State's traveling from. They are traveling from home. Oh no, they were at New Orleans, so it's not that crazy of a trip, but it's still a road game nonetheless. So this game could stay. I could see this game staying close. Two can have a great game. He fills up the stat sheet, so it's like a Rondo in a sense. Miami versus San Antonio. I'm staying away from that game, and then we have these two teams just played each other. I don't even think their last games were against each other, if I'm not mistaken. Minnesota versus oh no, Minnesota played Memphis in between. Let me see. Did Well, it was the last game for the Clippers, so they're getting the same guy they played last time. Austin Rivers had a great game. I don't mind going back to dwell on that. Um, Lou Williams 8K is a little pricey for me. A lot of these guys, Gallinari, I'm not sure. We need to keep up with this injury news because if he's playing, he's definitely gonna take away minutes from a lot of these other guys, and it's probably gonna be a lot of it's gonna be treated like the King situation where a lot of these guys are just gonna see like 22, 25 minutes. Nobody's gonna really play 30 plus except for maybe DeAndre Rivers and Lou Williams. So most of these guys are fades for me. But if Gallinari's out, Jamel Wilson did play 28 minutes last game. He didn't produce much with it. But if you're looking for that salary relief, he might be worth it. Who knows? And that's about it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I try not to make it that long. I'm a little tired, so you guys can probably hear it in my voice. But hopefully we win some money today, man. That's about it, and I'm out. Peace.